From the mountains, to the marshes, to the ocean, and even right in town. Santa Cruz has an amazing variety of avian life. I'm San Fraser, and I've spent the last month studying some of these birds within the microcosm of Neary Lagoon Park. If you have ever visited Neary Lagoon or a similar ecosystem, you have almost certainly seen one of these, a mallard. Mallards are a common type of duck, which typically eat algae, insects, and grass, and are unusually adaptable to urban and semi-urban settings. They are a type of dabbling duck, and can often be seen in the water with their rumps in the air dabbling for food. The male drake has a distinctive glossy green head and gray on the wings and belly, while the female has mainly brown spotted plumage. This evolutionary difference is so the male can attract the female, but the female can safely camouflage herself as she guards her eggs in the marsh grasses. The female mallard is the one with the loud quack. Males make only a soft clucking sound. Duck, 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 duck. Gull? Yes, gulls will sometimes join in with flocks of mallards, which they surprisingly do not seem to mind. Another type of duck which can be seen at Neary Lagoon is the wood duck. Wood ducks are considered perching ducks, and are some of the most colorful of the waterfowl. They are about 3/4 the length of the adult mallard, and similarly are extremely sexually dimorphic, with the male having far brighter plumage. Unlike most other ducks, wood ducks have sharp claws for perching in trees, and are the only North American duck to be able to produce 2 broods in a single season. Females typically lay between 7 and 15 eggs in a soft tree nest, which ducklings jump from after hatching. Amazingly, ducklings can jump on a solid ground from heights of up to 290 feet without injury, although mothers generally prefer nesting over water. Wood ducks mainly eat berries, acorns, insects, and seeds. Therefore, they generally have no need to swim quickly. Watch how much faster, for example, this pied-billed grebe will dart by. Grebes feed mainly on small aquatic invertebrates and fish. Another common type of bird to see here is the cormorant. This young double-crested cormorant dives underwater, looking for fish. Cormorants will occasionally go for more than a minute without surfacing. Cormorants do not preen their feathers with oil like most other waterfowl, so they can swim underwater much more easily. But the lack of oil means that their wings can become waterlogged. This bird is holding out its wings to dry, so it will be able to fly somewhere else. Adult double-crested cormorants generally have shiny, black feathers, but you can tell this one is still juvenile because its feathers are somewhat dull and brownish. This particular bird comes back to this plank almost every day. I can tell it from the other cormorants because one of the flight feathers in its left wing is either misaligned or missing entirely. The double-crested cormorant is a success story in terms of conservation efforts. DDT greatly decreased populations in the 1960s, but they've recently made such an extraordinary comeback that some organizations are trying to control their numbers so they don't take fish away from humans and rarer bird species. Not all the birds you can see at Neary Lagoon dwell in the water, however. In the trees above, small passerines make their nests. One of the more distinctive of these birds is the red-winged blackbird, named after the bright red patches, known as epaulets, on each wing of the male. This bird spreads out its tail feathers in a way that is suggestive of an agonistic, or territorial, display, but is likely only trying to adjust to the strong winds. In general, blackbirds are aggressive, as their nests are predated upon by many larger birds and mammals. This is a brewer's blackbird. You can tell that it is male because of the dark, glossy feathers and bright yellow eyes. Blackbirds often travel in large flocks, but this one is alone. It bobs its head in a funny, jerking manner because it is trying to scope out insects to eat. Here, a male and a female brewer's blackbird can be seen scavenging together. Birds this small must dedicate a lot of their time to eating. This male's head looks brown instead of the usual dark purple color. A bird which may be confused for the brewer's blackbird is the black phoebe, but there are some definite differences in their markings and behavior. The black phoebe has duller black feathers and a white belly even in adulthood, and is a type of flycatcher, frequently waiting on perches before darting out and catching small insects mid-air. They build nests out of mud, and are generally non-migratory. Black phoebes are quite common in Santa Cruz, but like many small, fast birds, they can be a bit difficult to catch on camera. Another passerine which frequents Neary Lagoon is the scrub jay. They are the western counterpart to the blue jay, and are typically found in chaparral and open forests. Their diet consists mainly of acorns and pine nuts, along with small grains, fruits, and occasionally small mammals and insects. Scrub jays find a separate place for storing each bit of food, and have a good memory for where the food is hidden. Genetic testing has been done, but there is still argument within the scientific community about whether western scrub jays are actually made up of two separate species. Steller's jays are less common in Neary Lagoon than in more densely forested areas of Santa Cruz, but can be seen there upon occasion. It is rather hard to see in this footage, but they have a marked black crest and black upper body, with bright blue wings and tail feathers. Steller's jays are omnivorous and will eat seeds, nuts, berries, invertebrates, eggs, nestlings, and even small rodents and reptiles. Even if you haven't seen one of these, I'm sure you've heard one. Mourning doves are abundant throughout North America, and are named after their famous melancholy note. See? Even that bicyclist is sorry, and he was just passing by. Perhaps they are mourning the fact that they have to be the most popular game bird in the U.S., with more than 20 million birds shot annually. However, they do breed most prolifically. One pair may raise up to 6 broods a year. They are also excellent flyers, capable of speeds up to 55 miles an hour. Mourning doves generally nest in trees, and have 2 eggs per nest. The chicks, known as squabs, are very altricial, and are fed crop milk for a few days before switching to seeds and take almost 2 weeks to fledge. Adult mourning doves eat almost exclusively seeds, and eat almost any type available in their area, although they show a preference for certain plants. These just represent a few of the types of birds which live in and around Neary Lagoon. In my study here I've also seen coots, egrets, herons, robins, warblers, sparrows, juncos, towhees, kinglets, waxwings, swallows, hummingbirds, crows, pigeons, wrens, mergansers, a hawk, and probably others I can't remember currently. If you want to see them for yourself, it is free to visit any time from sunrise to sundown.